Throughout the 25-something years the Pokémon franchise has been around, there has been tons of merchandise for the series. From video games to anime, card games, comics, or even toys, the franchise has been around the block quite a bit, and it's safe to assume things would slip between the cracks from the largest media franchise. Today, we're going to take a look at one game that Pokémon fans may never be able to play again. At the turn of the century, Pokémon was still at the height of its popularity. The movie Pokémon 2000 had just been released in July, and Warner Bros. Was given permission to handle all promotions of the movie from Nintendo. A few months before the North American release of the movie, Warner had contacted Cyberworld, a startup focusing on creating web browsers which would display 3D worlds and games alongside the original websites.
Cyberworld is an enabling technology that allows you to create, in literally minutes, compelling, interactive, multimedia worlds on the web.
With Cyberworld in hand, Warner Bros. Had commissioned the Pokémon 2000 adventure game, which would play alongside the movie. What Cyberworld had created was impressive for its time. They created a fully 3D game in a similar vein of Wolfenstein 3D, which took place in a 3D world and used 2D sprites. There were multiple islands in the game, which were home to the legendary birds, just like in the movies. According to one of the game's developers, Eddie Rominsky, there would be obstacles in your way which required the player to figure out how to remove them, such as using specific attacks to destroy them. A side panel would be used as the user interface between the game world and the back end of the website. Directly below that, there was a map to track where you were on the island. Pokémon could be caught in the game, but only at the start of the game and in the overworld. Once you moved on to the islands, you had to rely on the team you already built up. When using attacks, simple flash animations would play for each attack. The game was ambitious for the time, to say the least. So how did this adventure game become lost? Surprisingly, this game was only online for 1 month before it was taken down. As Eddie Rominsky explains, Nintendo of America panicked after they saw a fully 3D Pokémon 2000 tie-in game running in a browser, as they were expecting something of a much smaller scale, and 3D Pokémon games were still not commonplace, so it threatened their mainline games. This is what caused a contract dispute between Nintendo and Warner Bros. On the grounds of over-delivering. Nintendo ordered the game shut down, and its success was short-lived. In that short amount of time, the game achieved over 1 million downloads, which is surprising given the year and time frame it was online for. What makes the Pokémon 2000 game so hard to archive is that many of its files and scripts are based on web servers which no longer exist. Levels are loaded by Cuborgs, which are Cyberworld's proprietary 3D web pages. The browser would download assets as you get to new areas, and the Cuborgs would be saved onto the hard drive. This means that many of the game's artwork and sprites still exist, however the code behind them is broken or lost. Since Cuborgs are saved to the disk, lost levels could be still found on hard drives today in the web browser's installation folder. Even if we find all of the Cuborgs, simply having the levels will not make the game playable, as the server side of the game is lost to time. While we're discussing the archival, we might as well discuss what point the search is at. Posts on the Lost Media Wiki date back to 2017, and there isn't a lot of discussion to go around. Most of the found information is from the Wayback Machine. The Wayback Machine had some of the Cuborg files uploaded, among others such as sprites and flash animations of the game. Someone known as Jack Crowley conveniently put these files together into a single package, so I went ahead and downloaded the package, and now I'm proud to present to you the first footage of the Pokémon 2000 adventure game on the internet. There isn't many working Cuborg files. Out of the 6 of them, I've been able to get 2 of them up and running. Despite some graphical issues with missing textures, the browser allows you to walk around in the stage in a 3D space. This is Moltres Island. There isn't much to look at, and certainly nothing to play. Moltres can be seen by an altar, and I'm assuming that you would have been able to catch him in the actual game, although according to the developer, you couldn't use them once caught. Anyways, you could also see fire spread throughout the forest, presumably because there's supposed to be a volcano on this island. In stages, there are also Pokeballs that float mid-air. According to the wiki, Interacting with one of these Pokeballs gives you a chance at leveling up your Pokemon, or Team Rocket steals a random Pokemon from your party. Amid all this, there is a MIDI of the original Red and Blue rival theme playing on loop, which is definitely an interesting choice. In the game's files, you can find all sorts of flash animations, such as attacks and small cutscenes that would only show if the game was fully working. It's interesting to see how much effort was put into the game that was meant to be a little dinky movie tie-in game. There's not much more you can do here, as the game is reliant on scripts and servers that no longer exist. There are still certain Cuborg levels that are missing, such as 2 more parts to Zapdos' island, and the entirety of Articuno's island. I'm not sure if there was ever an island for Lugia developed either. If you remember playing this game back in the day and still own your old computers, it might be worth a check to see if you have any of these files saved. On the Lost Media wiki, there is also a screenshot of the Zapdos Island level running. However, in all my attempts, I wasn't able to get it running. At the very least, it's really neat to have been able to see at least one part of this forgotten game in Pokemon history. With a media franchise as large as Pokemon, things are guaranteed to slip between the cracks and get lost to time. Thankfully, this isn't the case with the Pokemon 2000 adventure game, as we can say that it is at least partially found. However, the search continues. Maybe one day, someone will come forward with a game complete with all its original files. For now, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe while you're at it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you later.